Sorry, I ain't got no money. I'm not trying to be funny, but I left it all at home today. You can call me what you wanna. I ain't giving you $1 this time. I ain't gonna run away. You might knock me down, you might knock me down, but I will get back up again. You can call it how you wanna. I ain't giving you $1 this time. I ain't gonna run away.
Yeah, not this time. I thought it might be fun to take a look at one of those articles very recently about why Bitcoin is dead, how it's the greatest scam in history. This is 99Bitcoin's website, Bitcoin Obituaries. It lists anytime a major article has declared Bitcoin dead for whatever reason, gets listed here 288 times now. This one caught my attention. Bitcoin is the greatest scam in history. Let's take a look at this. Let's try and be as objective as possible and take a look at the writer's arguments. Thought it might be fun. I'm tired of saying, be careful, it's speculative, and then be careful, it's gambling, and then be careful, it's a bubble, and then okay, I'll just say it, Bitcoin is a scam. It's a colossal pump and dump scheme, the likes of which the world has never seen. The losers are ill-informed buyers caught up in a spiral of greed. This results in a massive transfer of wealth from ordinary families to internet promoters. So I guess what they're trying to say is that while I could tell you Bitcoin's great, you should get in, and then my sole intention is to just sell Bitcoin at a higher price, then that's correct. Then Bitcoin is a giant Ponzi. If that's the ultimate goal, to sell for a higher price, then those who got in earlier are rewarded better, and it's just one giant Ponzi. Now, I have my own things to say about that, but let's just continue. Promoters claim cryptocurrency is valuable as 1, a means of payment, and 2, a store of value, and 3, a thing in itself. I'm not sure what that means. None of these claims are true, so let's break it down. Means of payment, Bitcoin is accepted almost nowhere. It's like, this is so easy to rebut. Imagine trying to send an email in 1995. Some people are going to accept it, some people aren't. But what I will say is, from what my personal experience is, from hiring people to do certain things, everyone I know is happy to accept Bitcoin. And if they're not, it just requires a little bit of knowledge on how to turn it into cash if they want. And as soon as they know how to do that, which it is really easy to do, then they're happy accepting it. So it's just about educating, in my opinion, as of right now. Even where accepted, a currency whose value can swing in 10% or more in a single day is useless as a means of payment. That's entirely dependent on what the recipient is willing to receive. But he goes on to explain, extreme price volatility also makes Bitcoin undesirable as a store of value. By whose metrics? The thing is, I think unfairly Bitcoin is judged at a day-to-day basis. Imagine you bought or you invested in a stock, a tracker bond or something like that. You're not going to be checking next month if you've made good money and then judging the whole efficacy of it in a month. You're going to give it a year, 2, 3. So at what point has Bitcoin been anyway? You get the point. And the storehouses, the cryptocurrency trading exchanges are far less reliable and trustworthy than ordinary banks and brokers. They're far less trustworthy than banks and brokers. I don't really need to say anything more about that, I think. But yeah, I suppose final thoughts about that. The main thing that attracted me to Bitcoin was not the technology. It was just that it was a replacement potential for how bad the banking system is. And I think anyone who thinks banks are great just haven't looked into it. So I believe in Bitcoin. I believe it is going to be more than just a giant Ponzi, and that it can and potentially will one day be a viable alternative where it's accepted everywhere, where it isn't so volatile. When we have a market cap of 2, 3, 4 trillion, coins aren't going to swing that much unless they're low market cap. Certainly the big ones, they're not going to move 10% in a day when you're looking at that much money. So your stability will be there. Gains won't be as much, but it can't be gains forever and ever and ever. Early adopters, the ones who are willing to risk it, potentially are deserving of the gains, and then everyone who came late to the party, well, it's just like trying to buy stocks now in Apple or something. Like, yeah, okay, you're good, but you're a little late. Moving on then to the markets after that tirade. I hope that wasn't too boring for you all. Did you know that CoinMarketCap had a website redesign? I didn't even notice. That's really embarrassing because I look at this thing every day. But really subtle. Or I'm just a complete idiot. The market cap has shot up a little bit. And I know that, if the market cap goes up 10 billion, it's not physically $10 billion. I just can't explain it every single day. If I say the market cap went up 10 billion, that's just an easy way of saying it. I know how a market cap works. And I know it's not technically 10 billion. Anyway, with the close of April and now into May, April to May was officially Bitcoin's greatest month so far in 2018. I do believe, although this isn't financial advice, that we are going to see better months. But from April to May, right? But from April to May, we saw a 33% gain in Bitcoin's price, while previous months all recorded losses. So, very good. But more interestingly and potentially more importantly, transactional volume is way up, double what it was from this period the month previous. And with that, transaction fees are doubled, but still kind of low. So anyway, moving on to coins more specifically, we have Bitcoin Cash at over 11% gains almost as of right now. The news for them is that in face of a lawsuit, Bitcoin.com have decided to change Bitcoin Cash's listing from Bitcoin back to Bitcoin Cash, which is probably the right move. I don't know. Maybe the best move for promotion is to step on people's toes to get them riled up, but going for a safer approach here, I think it's fair to promote your coin. I think it's fair to say it's better than Bitcoin, etc., but to anger people in the process, I think if avoidable, should be avoided, but anyway, that's just me. Stellar being quite stable the last few days. The news for them is Bitfinex has listed them and has listed them with a ton of pairings. So not just Stellar, Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, USD, Great British Pounds, Euros, and the Japanese Yuan. More and more exchanges, I think, are going to keep giving you these options, which is just going to open up cryptocurrency to more investors, removing the gateway drug of Bitcoin. Zcash is in the news today. It has been picked up by a serious investment group known as Circle. These are a Goldman Sachs-backed company. They are one of the first companies to receive the BIT license in America. And as well as Zcash, they have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, and Litecoin. So not a great deal, but Zcash has been added. And potentially there are going to be more announcements made of new coin listings, potentially over the next 3 weeks. Moving on to VeChain, another mainnet launch is approaching. So many coins getting their mainnets. The public beta test is approaching, and I think the mainnet launch is due by the end of June. So from now until early June, I believe, they are now accepting applications for the alpha test for VeChain Thor blockchain, and bounties being rewarded for those who are going to put in some work. Moving over to Stratis, the CEO recently said in his latest interview that customers will be able to create their own private custom blockchains using this platform, and seemingly keeping up with that, a ICO platform is launching on May 9th. There is already an ICO lined up known as Gluon. Will be the first ICO on the platform. Kyber Network, not a bad name or logo in my opinion, but they are going to go through a rebrand anyway. That's been announced and it was going to take place in June apparently. Speaking of rebranding, Elastos, they're in the process of rebranding. It's unknown if they're going to change the logo or the name, but definitely the website is getting redesigned in the coming weeks. Maybe I should rebrand. Crypto 6 days a weekly. That's catchy. Any other suggestions? Let me know.